Alright everybody, thanks for coming aboard today. We're going to talk about how to close live transfer broadcast leads and especially in insurance sales, and how to close these live transfer broadcast leads because they have their own idiosyncrasies. They're a little different than some of the other leads that you would get, whether it's a TV lead, a radio lead, a mailer. They all have their own issues that you got to deal with in their own type of customer. So let's first talk about the three types of leads you would probably run into. The first one is going to be your interested customer. They pressed 1, they're talking to you right now, they want information, they want to enroll. Sometimes if you're selling final expense and a loved one died not that long ago, you get people that are ready to go right now. They don't want to waste any time because they're pitching in on somebody else's funeral. Or it's close to AEP or somebody just turned 65. Whatever the case, those are customers you should close pretty simply. And most of your leads, though, are going to be callbacks. They're going to be people who just called back the number on their phone or saw your name on the caller ID and wondering what it was all about. And you want to have a good script ready for those because it's really crucial that you create value right away and get into why it's so important that they move further. And you want to entice them and move them along in 30-second spurts. You want to use the first 30 seconds to get them to the next 30 seconds. And after a minute or two, if they haven't hung up yet, they're on the phone, that by that time they're showing interest and you should be able to get them through the call. But it's crucial, those first 30 seconds. We'll talk about that here shortly. And then the next customer is the angry customer. Of course, that's the guy who's woman that's mad because you called their phone. They don't like these type of calls. And as long as they're semi-reasonable, you can convert those into sales, believe it or not. You just have to have, again, a script or something that you're ready right away to rebut. You have to be ready to get in there right away and tell them why you called and why it's so urgent. And you have to have an urgency component to it. Well, the reason why it's so important that we call this AEPs right around the corner, and what we found is 80% of seniors don't even understand the changes in their Medicare and U-Book. Did you look at your Medicare and U-Book that came out in January that showed all the changes? What Medicare and U-Book? And then you can try to set an appointment and, let them know how important it is that you come out there and explain it to them and start to build that relationship. So you can definitely convert those and even get them on an app right then at the time, just depending on what you say in those first 30 seconds. It's really important, but those are definitely convertible as well. I've done it myself many times. All right, and again, be ready. The first 30 seconds are critical. You have to create a sense of value and create a sense of urgency. Let them know it's not going to take that long to do this, but that you're going to take care of all their needs right now. And why it's so important. Whether you have a story, an anecdote, something that happened in their life, you ask them some critical questions that gets them thinking. You have to really be prepared for those three types of calls in those first 30 seconds. And always sound confident and professional. Always be 100% confident in everything that you say and what you're telling them because they're trusting in you over the phone without meeting you, seeing you, going to your office, you coming into their home. And always meet the expectations of what a professional insurance salesman is supposed to sound like. What their expectations are of a guy in a business suit or a woman in a business outfit at their table going over documents and speaking insurance language. So just meet those expectations and start to paint the pictures in their mind of who they're talking to. Don't waste their time. Especially with seniors, they get very impatient very easy, and especially when they have to do the same thing twice. So you want to prepare them for that, but just move them right along. Don't waste time with, all your small talk should be related to the application. You can still make small talk and build the bond, but it should all be related to the application and the application questions. So you're also moving forward at the same time. When you ask them about whether they have diabetes, this or that, you could tell them a story or something as you're going to the next question, to build that bond. But keep it moving. Again, these people were not expecting to buy this today. They got a call and pressed 1, or they just did a call back, and now at the end of this call they're going to go into their wallet and give you their credit card number. So just keep that in mind, and always pre-qualify right away. Again, that's meeting the expectations of what a professional insurance salesman or call would sound like. They know that, so get right to it. It's meeting their expectations, and it tells you where to take them. And you do need to know what to sell them and know your product knowledge. If you're selling some sort of insurance product and they have ailments or something that prevents them from getting a regular insurance product, and you have to get them on a guarantee issue product, you need to identify that right away and make it get there seamlessly, and not make it seem like it's a big deal, or you got to look for something, or you got to find something, or see what's, maybe you qualify. You got to know, you got to know what's going on, know those questions, those qualifying questions right away, and where to take them. It's important, again, to move these along, and that helps you sound confident when it doesn't feel like you're looking for information. And get right to the application. Don't hesitate. Pre-qualify them, you know where to take them. Meet the expectations of what an application sounds like, so they understand, you mean business and you're a professional and you're doing a professional thing for them, providing a professional service. And, if you're selling insurance, start with the beneficiaries. Make them write their names down. Have them spell it to you. Can you spell their name for me so I have this correct? So it brings the whys to it. If not, make them say the whys. Even if it's with healthcare, get them say why it's so important to them. Even though they know it and we know it and it's a given, you want to make them say it. Make them write it down if you can. And always prepare them for what happens next. If they have to get on the phone on a three-way because it's a one-call close, just prepare them for what's going to happen. That way they're not bombarded, or they feel like they're getting run around, or again, they're doing the same thing 3 times. If they have to do the same thing 3 times, tell them why before they have to do it. Now we're going to have to do this thing 3 times because state law dictates, and then they'll understand. Just be patient. I really appreciate it, and encourage them as they go along. Thank you, sir. That was awesome. Let me get you on to the next step here. Just a few more minutes and we're going to be done. Thank you, ma'am, for filling that out. We're going to get on to the next questions here. Or, thanks for holding. We'll, get you transferred on over. It's only going to take another minute. Encourage them. Let them know that the end is coming near and that you're, providing them a professional service. And also always have a reason behind what you're doing. A lot of times they'll get frustrated really easy of little things that they don't understand, like why they have to repeat something twice. If you explain it to them ahead of time, you can avoid this. But even if they start to get frustrated, address it right away and just have a legitimate reason, and they'll keep going. They just don't like to have their time wasted. It's just how it is. But if you have a legitimate reason and you're guiding them along and you're encouraging them along the way, you'll get through the call just fine, and they'll be happy with you. They'll be happy with your service. Always assume the sale. This is why they pressed 1 or why they came over. They definitely need it. They've gotten this far. They would have hung up on you if they weren't interested, or they wouldn't have even called back if they weren't semi-interested. So assume the sale. Make them tell you why they're not ready. And then have a rebuttal. Your product knowledge should get them through any of your general fears. And then use feel, felt, found. It works. Just say most people, most Americans, most people in your area, the people in your area I've talked to, the people that we work with. Make that general bond with them and the general public on how they would behave in this situation and why it's important to act today. And educate them. Always educate them so you can become the go-to guy. You become someone important to them if they can go to you for information or things that they don't understand, and that'll help you later create more sales, upsell, and get referrals. Every customer is just a door opening into a family of people, and that's important to remember. And confirm everything. Have them, again, write it down. Write down your phone number, write down their beneficiaries, write down the company, everything that they need to know, and then some, and set the next appointment. Don't leave it open or end it like it's the last time you're going to talk to them. I'm glad I could help you today. Bye. Have a nice day. No, not at all. All right. I'm glad we were able to get this done today. So I'm going to give you a call Thursday to make sure all this is finalized. If you have any other questions in the meantime, write them down. And that way, it's not going to take nearly as long. We're talking about a minute or two here, but just want to make sure that we're going to get this all squared away for you and make sure that coverage is there, and there's not going to be any problems, any misspellings or anything. Give them a reason. Set the next appointment, leave it open so you can again ask for referrals, get another family member on the phone right then. All right, and it should only take maybe a half hour on a lot of these to get them on the phone, pre-qualify them. Even if you have to 3-way, that part will maybe take another 15-20 minutes from your part, and the insurance companies try to get them off the phone right away and help you secure that sale as well, because it's in their best interest. So work with them. But in about a half hour to 40 minutes, you can have an application and a sale and be off the phone and on to the next customer. It's really that simple. You just assume the sale, move forward, and just be ready for those leads as they come in. Again, those first 30 seconds are crucial. Some of the do's, always be pleasant and professional. Some of the people are going to be angry or cranky. It's okay. Just kill them with kindness. Have a good reason for what you're doing. And even an angry person will let you sell them insurance. They'll go through the app mad the whole way. And they'll be angry and complain the whole time. But they sure will give you their credit card information if you sit there with them and let them complain, as long as you make sense and you stay positive. It's just a fact. And always be professional. Again, you're meeting the expectations of the insurance sales industry and agents all over, and and who you are. So there's every reason to be professional at all times. Always listen and empathize. Before you give them the general rebuttal or your favorite rebuttals, listen to what they're saying and address what they're saying. Empathize with it and then give them the rebuttal. Be persistent. Don't take the first no for an answer. It's just a firewall. Maybe they don't want to do it right now, or they're tired. But if they just take another 15-20 minutes out of their day, that's all it's going to take, and then they have nothing to worry about ever again. So either it's going to be put on automatic form after that. So be persistent and have a sense of urgency, not just for yourself but for them. It's important to get it done now so they don't have to face anything in the future. And if they do, you're the go-to guy anyway. All right, and always get referrals, whether you get the sale or not. Whether they bought it yesterday from their brother, ask them for a referral if you can't do it. Always be positive, always be pleasant. And I'm sorry I couldn't help you today, Mr. Smith, but let me ask you, since I got you on the phone, is there anyone that that might be interested in getting some final expense insurance? Anyone else in your family that might not be covered that I should talk to? Well, always ask, who's there? I can hear somebody talking in the background. Make it a joke, but try to get the referrals, get the names and the numbers. If you can get them on the phone right there, it's possible. A lot of times they'll hand you to the guy right there if they're not doing anything. Some of the don'ts, you don't want to waste time, especially with the seniors. Again, they get impatient. They don't want to sit on the phone all day. They're a little bit apprehensive already. They didn't grow up in this. A lot of them didn't grow up in the same era as many of the younger folks have. So, don't waste their time. Be professional and get it moving. Have thin skin. You can't let the no's or the rejection get to you, or the angry people. That's just a fact. That's part of the sales industry, and you're going to face that no matter what type of leads they are. But you can't have thin skin, that's for sure. And do not sound like you're not 100% confident in what you're saying. Go through the trainings with each of your carriers, understand their products, understand the best products for the best people at the best times, and be 100% confident in what you're saying. Double check yourself afterwards if you're not sure, but you have to be 100% confident, because this is important to them, and they're banking their health on you, or their life insurance. Don't bring up the 30-day look period. It's just going to get you a chargeback. People will go along with you, yes, for it, because of that, knowing that when you hang up the phone, they're going to call back 15 minutes later and say they changed their mind, or in 2 weeks, or the first time they don't have enough money for pizza. So don't bring up the 30-day look period. The insurance carrier is going to bring it up anyway, so there's no need for you to beat a dead horse. Just, it's part of the deal, but it's nothing for you to harp on, because otherwise they're going to use it as a tool to get out of it later if things get tight. And don't leave the conversation closed. Always set the next appointment. Always leave it open. There's a reason why they need to talk to you again, and that's always going to be an opportunity for sell them something else, or to get a referral, and to build a customer base. These customers are just a tree to branches of more customers. So you have to treat them all with that type of respect. You never know what it's going to lead to. You never know what small sale could lead to a larger sale from a different family member. So never close any doors, never burn any bridges. All right. Thanks for listening today. Glad to have you. And if you have any questions, just give us a call or shoot us an email, and we'll be glad to help you at any time. Have a great day.